All right, so I'm gonna go over little segments here and there on, I guess, little tidbits of the lore of War Within. Um, I want to really do the side quests too, because the side quests for War Within are pretty phenomenal, and there are a lot of little hidden gems in there too. But the biggest thing is like I'm getting a lot of questions on Xal'atath, and so I figured why not just make a video, and then I can just link people to this video and be like, hey, here's my 5 minute shortcut on Xal'atath. Now, there's a lot of details too, because Xal'atath has been around for a long time, a hot minute. Um, she's considered like an ancient one. Not much is known about her, but we'll get into that too. I probably should. Yeah, I'll go over getting the chat in here later in later video. Any improvements or advice too is greatly appreciated, because for things like this, I don't really know where to go with it. I'm not really a good video game or video editor, so I just kind of fiddle with it and just kind of make do with what I do know, which is, I can present something on the screen here and then we can go over it together. So, history of Xal'atath. Let's see. So, biggest thing is the leading theory is that Xal'atath originates from Yajaj or Yasha. I don't even know how to pronounce that, but just one of the old gods. Um, the theory is like the sword that we'll get into, or the dagger that she um, becomes, is a claw of Yashaj. There really isn't like any concrete evidence of where they came from. I keep saying she, but like again, we'll also get into that too. But like, uh, Xal'atath is technically not a woman. So I just put, do you like Illyria? Are you unknown? Who are you? Like, what is up with all the cutscenes where there's this weird tension between the two of you? Like, it's so many unanswered questions, and I hope that we get some answers in this expansion. But I care more about finding out about what's going to happen to Azeroth. So, um, so Xal'atath has been used like a track baton in the history of World of Warcraft. So when Xal'atath became this like legendary dagger, it's basically what it was is that she would enter throughout history of World of Warcraft, and people would try to destroy or harness this dagger. But the minute they touched it, the dagger would essentially enter their mind. That's like her way that she would enter. And once she got festered in someone's mind in history, she was able to manipulate whatever she could with the current events. So she was in the Troll Wars, the Third War in Legion. There was some priest that was fiddling with it, tried to break down the dagger, touched it, and then the rest is history. BFA Xal'atath made an appearance in Stormsong Valley, and that's the biggest one you'll see people talking about, because there was a quest line where Xal'atath said like we freed her from the dagger, and she's like, you'll see me again, and blah blah blah. That's where, when she was freed from the dagger, her spirit, her essence, whatever you call it, possesses a dead cultist body, which is what we see now, and enters into the void and is gone. Um, so that's how we know Xal'atath now. Um, oh, let's skip on. Let's skip on past this part. I don't know how that got in there. That's yeah. Okay. All right. Here we go. So I don't know for say like what she looks like in the void. This is just like a common Eldritch monster that like in D&D it's vastly different, but in World of Warcraft this is like the most common like resemblance that we see. And then comes this legendary item that we see all throughout Legion. There's a lot of whispering, a lot of deep quest lines, and then that's where she possesses this dead cultist once we free her, because we needed her help, and she said in exchange, I want to be freed of this artifact weapon, and we're like, okay, yeah, no sweat, no problem. Don't worry about it, and we know you're a bad entity, but we just needed your help, and you're disappearing, and we're not going to see you for another 3 years. Cool. Um, So my question is, obviously this, and a lot of the cinematics we've seen Illyria and Xal'atath, uh, almost like within kissing range of each other, and it's like, is there tension? Like, because Illyria fucking hates Xal'atath because, as you know, World of Warcraft's already posted about this, so I'm just gonna bring it up, but she's upset that Xal'atath decimated Dalaran, and then not only that, evaporated Khadgar. Now, I do like how World of Warcraft portrayed the cinematic because there's a lot of questions on how the void works, especially with portals. So does like the way they showed him being disenchanted, is that like him dying, or is Xal'atath transporting him somewhere? The leading theory that I've seen from a lot of players, especially online and through my own guild, is that we could very well see Khadgar as a raid boss in an upcoming season, this season, who knows? My question is, actually, I think that's the next line. Oh no, yeah. Well, we'll get into that in a second about Khadgar, but I don't know the dynamic between the two of these. Um, it's there. It's got to be there. Like we all see it. I don't know if Blizzard's ever going to act on it. They do these little things where they build tension between two characters. I think they just got tired of using Jaina to just throw at literally everyone in the storyline and just see what sticks. I mean, Jaina's been with Thrall, Arthas, Kael'thas. Well, she rejected Kael'thas for Arthas. Who else was Jaina with? There's one other person I'm missing, but yeah, Jaina was at the center point, and now we have this whole weird dynamic where Illyria hates Xal'atath, but Xal'atath's like, I can't even describe it. Like, she's just weirdly vibing with Illyria. Like, Illyria gets so mad, but she just loves fucking with her, I guess. Yeah. And then, okay, so this other thing, the other dynamic that's really cool is you have the Illyria storyline or character arc. She's kind of annoying a little bit, but the cool thing about Illyria is that she discovered how to use the Void. Now, with the Void, it is the only way to completely remove anything from the Burning Legion from existence. Because normally, like when you kill something of the Burning Legion, it would just send them back to their realm, and they would just come back in, through the portal, wherever the case is. But Illyria always had these like whispers with the Void, and when she wasn't able to control the light as well and got turned away from the light, that's when she started harnessing the Void, and she's the only character that can do that. Which is probably like why Xal'atath is taking advantage of that, because she knows that she basically has free access into her mind to just mess with her at will. But for Illyria, I think she's trying to keep it locked down as much as she can. And as we've seen in the cinematics, she's not doing a good job. That is my other running candidate for being a raid boss. I don't really like how for this expansion we basically have a Tyrande Sylvanas dynamic 2.0. Blizzard's been kind of lazy with what they've been doing in that regard, but neither here or there. We'll get over that later. But yeah, the whole Khadgar thing. So my take on this, right, is that yes, Xal'atath is an ancient one. She's something that is meant to harness the void, and she was given this legendary staff that harnesses the void because she is acting as a medium for Dimensius, which we'll also get into later. So there is some power dynamic there behind Xal'atath for sure. But my problem is Khadgar is the guardian of Azeroth, which only a mage can be, and there can only be one. And the only time we've ever seen a guardian fall was from Medivh, who actually got corrupted through the Burning Legion. It's not something where like someone can waltz in and just like, topple over them like Xal'atath did. So my biggest problem with that is I feel like Blizzard constantly struggles with the power dynamic in the game of like, where do we put the characters with how much they're interacting with these powerful beings that logically they should not be fighting to begin with, but we're also running out of content, so we need to push something out. For Khadgar, I don't get it. He did one powerful, insane spell and then just toppled over. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. Like I'm just like I don't. Why read the books, man? Like it doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, Yeah. So okay. The other thing too to add on to this chart is the flow of power in the World of Warcraft universe. So for the longest time, we've seen the light with the Naru and the what's it called, Honor's Light. The Paladin way of life, and I think we have this is the Void. So all of these different power dynamics. You got the Druids over here, the Arcane, the undead and necromantic, fell in disorder. They're all fighting each other for power over reality. They all have their own realms they reside in. The biggest one that WoW really harps on is the Void, because power wise, the Void is pretty fucking powerful. But the drawback to that is that the Void can't interact directly with reality. That's why it has to find pawns that it can use to instigate its own problems and troubles within the reality to get its own power back over the Azeroth here, the World Soul. Which is why we see a lot of the old gods implanting themselves into Azeroth, because they're acting as a medium for the Void, which is what Xal'atath is doing. So the game plan for Xal'atath for this expansion is we have Dimensius, which really don't know why he's this weak in the trade game. It's really unrelated, but it makes no sense because this is one of the most powerful beings in the universe for World of Warcraft. This guy alone will devour planets. Those guys you saw in Burning Crusade, and we saw them in Warlords of Draenor too, with the bandages around their head. They're here because Dimensius ate their planet. That echo of the song or whatever it is that like all the major characters were hearing, that's what those bandage beings heard before Dimensius ate their planet. So that's what this is all alluding to. And obviously, like the way World of Warcraft, you can't have World of Warcraft without, the world itself. So Dimensius is not going to devour the planet, but he might do some damage like Sargeras did. But Xal'atath is working for Dimensius to try to get him into this world to devour the planet, to figure out what he wants to do with Azeroth. Who knows? We also saw this same dynamic with Sylvanas and the Jailer. So again, like Blizzard has been really bad about rewriting their own takes on the lore. Like you look at these cliffhanger shows that have all these crazy dynamics and stuff, and it makes you wonder, like, why can't Blizzard spin something different just out of the blue? And I think it's because they're scared to. Like, they know it works from the past, but the problem is we don't have the old game or the old player base that we used to. Like, you can try curveballs in the lore. Like, don't be scared. I mean, come on. Yeah, regurgitated content. So, but that is my take on Xal'atath. There is a lot of like tertiary information with Xal'atath that you probably would be nice to know, but like this is the main plot line of around our villain and War Within. You could go through this infographic that I made and you would be well equipped to understand why she's doing what she's doing. There's little tidbits of like, the side quests, which if I really like this video and had fun, which I love talking about lore, so I probably will, I'll go over that and kind of feed in, this is why Xal'atath was trying to do this, blah, 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 blah. So, but yeah, that's that. Let's get back to the game.